Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Head, and welcome back to the Baseball Head 2. And hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So we're going to go through the free agents and the trade candidates for 2026. We're in the new year, and we're going to go through it. We've had some signings, a lot of signings, but there are so many players, folks, so many players that are still on the market that we have to discuss on this video. And a lot of rumors today, and some players that have been being discussed that were quietly not discussed. But it's going to be very interesting to see now with some players being off the market, where some players are going to go and whatnot. But here we go. Let's start at the top. And, of course, we'll talk about players that signed, too. I'm going to get the bell ready. Let me get the bell ready. So what a great setup we have here at the Baseball Hut. It's like it's 1989 all over again. But anyway, the first name on the list, Kyle Tucker. Well, where's he going to sign? Well, it's funny you should mention it. I have no idea. But we have the Cubs, possibly. I don't think so. The Yankees, probably not. The Mets have been mentioned a little bit. I'll put some teams in here that I have from most of the offseason. Seattle, the Dodgers, the Giants, the Phillies, Baltimore, and Toronto. Toronto seems to be very interested in signing him, even if they sign Okamoto. Pete Alonso, signed with the Orioles. So long, Polar Bear, 5-year deal. Edwin Diaz, so long, Edwin, 3-year deal with the Dodgers. Took the most money to both of them. Dylan Cease, signed with the Blue Jays, which was a surprise for everybody. One of the first big signings of the offseason. Zach Gallen's still out there. We had the Mets. Houston might not be so much because they signed the Amai. Arizona, the Angels, the Giants, Detroit, Baltimore, the Cubs. Keep an eye on Baltimore when it comes to any kind of free agent signing. Speaking of which, Framber Valdez, we had the Mets, the Giants, and the Baltimore Orioles mostly attached to him. He will take if he goes to the Mets, he'll take a 3-year deal, but we'll see. He's 32 years old. His numbers were kind of lagging a little bit the second half, but we'll see. He's a very good pitcher. He's been a very good starter for many, many years and a big pitcher. Pitched a lot of big games. Bo Bichette, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Tigers, the Boston Red Sox, and the Phillies. Phillies have popped up lately over the weekend, and it seems like the Blue Jays might be, and I put the Yankees here. The Yankees have been mentioned a little bit too, but probably not for shortstop because they have such a Hall of Famer in Anthony Volpe. Don't tell his father. Anthony Volpe, the future Hall of Famer at shortstop. But the Phillies and Toronto, I think, are the most likely landing spots for him. Cody Bellinger. We have a bunch of teams, the Tigers, the Rangers, Toronto, Phillies, Cincinnati, I don't think so much. Cleveland, I don't think so much. I don't think that at all. The Cubs, possibly, and the Dodgers, possibly. But I think it'll come down to two teams, the Mets or the Yankees. I think it'll come down to one of those, either one of them. And supposedly the Yankees have made a second offer to him. Ranger Suarez. I've heard Toronto, San Francisco, the Phillies, the Mets, the Cubs, and Baltimore. I used AI for this. They say the Mets. I'm going to say that there's a good chance to go to the Mets or possibly Baltimore. Kyle Schwarber, he signed with the Phillies. Mutaka Murakami signed with the White Sox, and a shock for a lot of people. Francisco Lindor. His name has popped up in trade discussions with the Padres. It seems like that Padres deal with the Mets does not seem so likely at the moment. No one's really talked much about it. But Toronto, keep an eye on, and the Dodgers. Toronto has a ton of money; they can take that contract without a problem, and they always have good. They always have a good farm system. Jeff McNeil traded to the Oakland Athletics for a young player, Jordan Rodriguez. Brandon Nimmo traded to the Rangers. David Pierce has got 1 year left on his contract. It'll be interesting to see if he gets dealt and if they bring another lefty into this rotation. He's an extra lefty of depth that they could probably move. Sandy Alcantara, I don't believe he'll get moved. All the big teams will be in on him. The same thing with Joe Ryan. The same thing with Logan Gilbert. I don't think those guys get moved. I'd be shocked if they were. Merrill Kelly, he signed with the Diamondbacks. Chris Bassett. I've heard Milwaukee, Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Arizona, the A's. Going back there, the Yankees, Texas, Houston, and the Mets. The Mets have been prominently mentioned over the last few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves signed him, just a feeling. Alex Bregman, still out there. But I've heard Boston, Seattle, Washington, Cincinnati, the Phillies, the Cubs, the Blue Jays prominently lately, the Tigers, Milwaukee, and the Texas Rangers. He's not signed yet. I think he'll either go back to Boston or possibly Toronto. Mike Conforto still out there. Talk about a guy who failed completely screwed up his free agency many years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets brought him back on a one-year deal. It wouldn't shock me. Lucas Giolito. Don't have a team on. Got a whole bunch of teams on him. Angels, Houston, Arizona, Baltimore, San Francisco, Texas, Chicago. This is the White Sox. The Boston Red Sox. Yankees, Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, and the Mets. Trent Grissom took the qualifying offer the Yankees like a dope. Gave him a qualifying offer. He accepted. Reese Hoskins, he's still out there. Michael King signed with the Padres. Nick Martinez, a free agent. Emilio Pagan signed with the Reds. Jorge Polanco signed with the Mets. JT Realmuto still out there, expecting to re-sign with the Phillies. Tarek Skubal, he's still with the Tigers as of now. Mason Miller, the Mets have been attached. Luis Robert Jr., San Diego, the Mets and Pirates. Let the buyer beware with him. I don't think he could hit. Robert Suarez signed with the Braves. Eugenio Suarez. We've heard the Angels. That's an Angels move if there ever was one. The Mariners, the Pirates. I've heard the Pirates prominently lately. The A's, Cincinnati, Boston, Texas. Don't let your favorite YouTuber fool you. The New York Mets will not sign him because he does not play defense. So do not think that he's going to sign with the New York Mets. Josh Naylor signed with the Seattle Mariners. Luis Ariz, a guy who's probably going to sign with the Angels, according to AI, 2 years, $30 million. Brandon Woodruff took the qualifying offer, remained, and I guess it was, no, not the qualifying offer. He accepted the option, stay with the Brewers. Freddie Peralta, his name has popped up today. We got the Mets, Boston, San Francisco, Toronto, Baltimore, and the New York Yankees have been involved in talks with Peralta. I think the Mets have an edge just due to the fact that David Stearns, the first trade of May was with the Brewers 2 years ago for Tyrone Taylor. Shane Bieber stayed with the Blue Jays. Devin Williams signed with the Mets. Jack Flaherty and Gleyber Torres re-signed with the Tigers. Ryan Helsley signed with the Orioles. Luke Weaver signed with the Mets. I know it's such a wonderful gimmick here. Kazuma Okamoto signed with the Blue Jays on the weekend. Mackenzie Gore. We've heard the Mets, Toronto, Milwaukee, the Cubs, and the Yankees. Brendan Donovan, a slew of teams are on him. He's a super sub, a super utility guy. He will be moved because the Cardinals are trying to go younger. So every team will be on him. The forever Mitch Keller on the block, I don't know. I don't think he's getting moved. Sonny Gray, traded to the Red Sox. Pablo Lopez, I don't think he's getting moved. Pete Fairbanks signed with the Marlins. Brendan Lowe went to the Pirates. Jaron Duran, he's still out there. William Abreu's still out there. Taylor Ward, traded to the Orioles. Adolis Garcia signed with the Phillies. He was a non-tender candidate, and they non-tendered him. Jonah Heim was non-tendered. Al Bohm is still out there. I don't know if he's going to get moved, if he can get anything for him. Randy Rosarena, C.J. Abrams, Jake Berger, Mark Vientos. It seems like the White Sox are very interested. It seems like the White Sox are very interested in him. We'll see. Luis Angel Acuna, another player that could get moved and rumored. Wilson Contreras traded to the Red Sox. Tatsuya Amai signed with the Astros. Shota Amanaga stayed with the Cubs. Brad Keller went to the Phillies. Hyesung Kim stayed with the Braves. Ryan O'Hearn signed with the Pirates. Harrison Bader's not signed with any team. Keep an eye on with the Mets, Cleveland, the Angels, the Giants, maybe not so much the Royals now. Raciel Iglesias stayed with the Braves. Zach Littell is still out there. Justin Verlander, believe it or not, has been attached to the Mets, believe it or not. Couldn't believe I saw Houston, the Yankees, and the Giants. Kyle Finnegan, the Tigers, the Yankees, and Arizona. Taylor Rogers signed with the Blue Jays. Ketel Marte, Boston, the Tigers, Tampa Bay, and the Mets. You have clubhouse problems. Be very careful with him. Christian Walker's been mentioned. Edward Cabrera was mentioned today. The Mets, the Yankees, the Cubs, Houston, and Baltimore. Spencer Jones is still out there. He could be moved, a young player, the minor leagues. Kodai Senga for St. Louis the Angels, Baltimore, San Francisco, Cubs, Texas, Toronto, and A's. I believe he'll be moved, but the Mets have not been happy with the offers they've gotten, so they kind of pulled back before the new year. Nick Pivetta, his name's been mentioned prominently with the Mets. Yo Darvish, Wandy Peralta, Yuki Matsui. These are guys that are on the block because the Padres are trying to pare down payroll. Kona Takahashi, a Japanese import, is probably going to go back to Japan. He hasn't gotten an offer, I guess he liked. Joey Lucchesi, Jose Castillo, Max Kranick, Danny Young, all non-tendered by their teams. Colin Holderman, signed with the Guardians. Christopher Morel, signed with the Marlins. Nathaniel Lowe, Chris Bubic of the Royals. Cole Reagans of the Royals. Seth Lugo, the Mets should be looking into him. Baltimore, see him going to Baltimore. That'd be a good move for the Orioles. Boston, as well. Michael Walker's out there. Lars Newbar, his name was attached to the Mets. Nolan Arenado will put the Angels because the Angels were attached to him. That's an Angels move there if it was one, folks. Trevor McGill, we got the Mets, the Yankees, Dodgers, San Diego, Atlanta, and Toronto. I believe he will get moved. I think he's a free agent after this season. He will get moved. And finally, Josh Bell, on a big send-off, signed with the Minnesota Twins. So these are the moves that have happened, the trades that have happened, the signings, players that could sign with teams, and, of course, players that could get traded. Moving now, we have about 31 days until pitchers and catchers, and this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut too, and I'll see you later.